He did say that. He did say that. I won't take that from Fabian. He did say that. But surprised? I wouldn't say I was surprised, but more so interested. Like that drew me. Like as soon as that happened, that's like, okay, that's interesting. How are they gonna put this together? How does this look on the court? It looks great on paper, but how is this gonna translate and really look on the basketball court? Obviously, you wanna talk championship aspirations, right? They're a contender. I think they're a contender automatically right now. With that addition. But yo, these trades, man, these trades over the last few years for the superstar level players, aside from the Anthony Davis one, like even that Kawhi Leonard one, you know, nobody saw Toronto.
But hold on. Paul, stay right there. Maserati said All-Star game, Giannis picked Dame first, but look what Zach said. And that's a great point. Never seen a trade where all the teams won. My opinion, everybody won in this trade. Go ahead, Flea. I'm sorry. I mean, if you want to.
No, I like what Zach was saying. I think the most recent trade with Halliburton for Sabonis, I think that's another trade where both teams really made out well. Like Sabonis helps take Sacramento to the next level.
Right.
Halliburton is Indy's
future
point guard for the future, and you see what they're building over there. So I like what Zach was saying, but I think there's some other trades that we could talk about that could kind of fall into that category. But nah, just for me to wrap up real fast, I think it's a hell of a trade. The only one that I think that is the only concern that I have is defensively, right? Drew is, known league-wide as one of the best defenders on ball, especially for guards. And, you could put him on twos and threes as well. So I think that's a concern. How do you make up for what Drew has done on the defensive end? But you got to go get the stud. You got to go get the stud. But also, go get Dame.
But before Fabe or Dom go, just real quick, they lost Drew. They also lost. So what's the other kid from Duke?
Grayson Allen.
Right. Grayson, a lot of spark off the bench and defensively, and he was a tough guy. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
What you think,
Dom?
I agree with basically everything you said. I was shocked when I first heard the news. I didn't expect that at all. It's gonna be crazy to see Damian Lillard with another team after 11 years. It felt like he was going to be a Blazer forever, but then the last couple of years, you just started to think like it might be in their best interest to trade him too. And finally it happened. And I'm happy that he agreed to go to another team and not just Miami, because that was a little much to me.
Yes.
But he ended up making out really great. I mean, could you have gotten a better situation if you're Damian Lillard? This is the typical role I've been saying. If he wants to win a championship, he's got to be the second guy, like Kyrie was for the Cavs, just to be that second scorer with a really dominant wing player, and that's Giannis. And I think it's perfect. The only thing is, as Flea said, the perimeter defense. I'm big on Drew Holiday. He guarded all the best players in the other teams in the perimeter, and that's going to be a major loss to me. Everyone's saying they're just going to funnel guys to the rim with Lopez and Giannis. I mean, that's true, but you got to still be able to stay in front of the ball to me to some degree. You're going to probably ask a lot of Wesley Matthews now and guys like Pat Connaughton. So we'll see. I think it's going to be very interesting. Did they get better? I think they got better. I think it's definitely championship or bust kind of season. And at this point, Dame, he doesn't have that many. I mean, he's going to be, I still think, pretty good for a while. But how many great years does he have left? It's not like his window's that large. This first year is a great chance for them to win. And it should be championship or bust to me. And plus, with the East, it's just the Celtics in there. For me, Miami, I don't want to sleep on them, but it really should be just the Celtics and the Bucks. And I think that Damian Lillard being a second option for the first time since, 2015, it's going to be awesome to see. They got a great chance to win the title. But the defense on the perimeter, I'm excited to see that.
Yo, Joel, demand a trade right now. Go ahead, Fabian. But Joel and B need to demand a trade right now, like tomorrow.
You know where he need to go, right? We gonna leave that alone. That'll make the East ridiculous. Go ahead, Faye.
Chill. Let's not get in our bag. You know how they say we getting out on our shit with the. Go ahead.
First, I'm more hyped because you heard what Matty Johnson said, right?
Yes, we did. Said, stay on subject.
The Lakers. Lakers
first of all,
Suns in the Western Conference Finals.
First of all, Flea, I never stay on subject. That's number one. Number two, Matty said he wants to own the Knicks, dime dropper. So let's start there and then get Joel Embiid or whoever the hell is. We believe in Magic Johnson. That's number one. Number two, come on now. You guys already said what I wanted to say. Championship or bust, 1,000%. Dame Lillard. This reminds me of Kevin Garnett a little bit. Supposedly loyal player, finally gets to a destination where it's like, yo, I don't know. I don't see why I would dislike this trade at all for him. Neither one have had this caliber of player on their team. The closest one is probably, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton had flashes, and Drew Holiday's all-NBA defense, yes. And then what was the kid that went from Portland to San Antonio? The power forward.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus.
That's the closest Dame has had this caliber player. The only thing is for me is how does Dame play alongside a guy like that? But the way I imagine Dame Lillard playing ball, high IQ, he got a handle. I never seen him really getting ripped like that. And I'm just excited. Like, that's the only thing I can say. Like, I don't hate this trade whatsoever. For any team, like you guys said, I really love this for Phoenix. Because getting Grayson Allen to get some toughness, you got rid of Ayton, who's a problem. They don't like him. Nurkic. Yep. Yeah. Nurkic is the guy, though. I don't want to call him the X factor. That's crazy.
If he's healthy, he's
15-10.
But he averages he averages like
perfect.
You said
low maintenance dude. He ain't gonna be looking for you to get extra touches.
He ain't gonna push around.
If he's healthy, Ayton is the guy that got to get 10 to 15 shots a game, right? Nurkic is not gonna need that, and he's gonna do what he needs. That's a good pickup for that. I love that.
Yeah.
Nurkic, someone showed me a stat. Nurkic hasn't played 60 games since
2019.
Exactly. That's
the problem, Dom.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, it was just like 40 games a year. I think, but it's kind of Golden State-ish when they got what's the kid that went from the Bucks to Golden State and he got hurt in the finals? Bogut. It's kind of Bogut-ish. You got a tough dude down low, like you said, all ball.
But he's not nearly as good of a defender as Bogut was.
No, he can't even hold Bogut's shoes defensively.
No, but you still got a big man who's tough, and Phoenix lacked that totally.
Are you saying you think Nurkic is better than Ayton, though?
Not better, like we said about Giannis.
To me, he's a better fit.
That might be
right.
A better
because
fit.
Ayton's disgruntled.
Right. He don't want to be there. They didn't want him.
He's also soft. Every game is just we wondering like him and Booker are arguing. You don't want that guy around. We always talk about chemistry and stuff like that. You get Nurkic in there, and again, we can say what we want about the Kevin. I know the Kevin Durant thing went crazy, but I love Kevin Durant as a super number 2 option, all ball.
That's a little. I
number 2. Whatever. Point is, you got. I love the Bradley Beal trade. I love Kevin Durant being there. And now you have Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen is an agitator. I love him. I love him just starting shit for the Phoenix Suns. And then you get Nurkic there, who's a backup for him. So I love this more for Phoenix. For me, is Phoenix the automatic number 1 now? I think the Lakers got a problem on their hands right now. Denver has a problem on their hands right now. Big time.
The Denver Nuggets are the number 1.
But they added.
They lost a lot.
Go ahead, too. My bad.
Plus,
you ain't getting on this yet.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a comparison that's gonna like maybe throw you off a little bit. What Milwaukee did reminds me of Cleveland Cavaliers. Giannis is LeBron, Dame Lillard is Kyrie, and Chris Middleton is Kevin Love. My opinion, if they could stay together for at least 4 years, they can win 2 championships.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not.
My opinion, they have everybody. Giannis is in his prime. And to me, that team, Dame Lillard, the pressure's not on him to give you 30 and 40 a night. They got a closer. They got a guy that they can put the ball in his hand, and he can do whatever needs to be done. And he can knock free throws down. Listen, this trade, see, people is hating. That's why only some of us is really getting it. Because everybody wanted Dame to either stay in Portland or go to Miami, which we've been saying Miami was never the best team to go to.
Why not? I thought it was a great team to go
to. They didn't have enough. That wasn't championship with Miami.
The
deal. Damian Lillard and Jimmy Butler?
That's not enough.
Yeah, the deal.
Enough.
The deal that
they made it to the finals, and let's say they replaced Tyler Hero, get him out of there. How is that not enough?
Well, because for one, as good as Miami is, they caught a break with Giannis getting hurt. Let's be realistic.
Now,
They almost hold on. No, hold on.
No, we can't do this.
Dom,
The other day you're saying he's
no,
overrated
Dom,
and this
we
and that.
talk-
What are Giannis with these last 2 years? You can't do this.
It's not going to work, Dom. It's not
You
going to
know
work.
what?
Whatever fits the
It's not-
narrative.
It's not going to work once again. And then hold on. Then Boston
He's a
almost
slick motherfucker.
no.
He's
Listen, and Boston almost came back 3-0. If Tatum didn't get hurt in that first quarter, in the first few minutes, so I'm saying for me, Dame going to Miami, they lose Tyler Hero. They big man is Bam. As good as they are, that's not good enough if Milwaukee was fully healthy and Boston is fully healthy. I think Dame in Milwaukee, to me, that's championship or bust. I don't see nobody testing them as long as they all healthy. I think this trade is one of the biggest trades that we've had in a long time.
No, I think so too.
In a long time? Nah, come on, man. Every year is a big trade.
Yeah,
This
big trades every year. This big trades every year.
Yeah, KD.
But Damian Lillard has been on this franchise for 10 plus years, right? We haven't seen a guy get moved after staying this long since what? Kevin Durant, LeBron James, guys like that, right? So, I think that's why it's such a high level magnitude move. But at the same time now, I don't think the power that Giannis has is talked about enough, right? And he doesn't do a lot of talking, right? He talk a little bit, and then shit starts shaking and moving, right? 2 years ago, it was, I don't know if I'm going to sign an extension. I want to win a championship here, but are we good enough? Drew Holiday comes, best perimeter defender in the league. We win a championship. 2 years removed, they lose back-to-back years. Now it's, I don't want to be the cat that only wins one championship. Running his mouth. A week later, Damian Lillard is coming into town, right? So, as much as Giannis is overrated by all ball standards, he's a pretty powerful dude within his organization, and rightfully so. If you want to keep this guy, if you don't want to lose this guy, you got to make those kind of moves. Not the little baby moves that, kind of put you in contention. Nah, go get me Drew Holiday that's going to put me over the top. Nah, go get me Damian Lillard that's going to put me over the top. Wow. So I like, what Milwaukee's franchise, yes, sir, cachet. Like, I like what Milwaukee's franchise is doing for Giannis.
Give him a lot of credit. Oh, we got to give him a lot of credit.
Yes.
No. I'm sorry. No.
Stars to town.
No. We got to give. I like what Flea was saying. I haven't heard anybody say that. Give Giannis for getting in his LeBron bag. Yo, y'all better go do something. I'm a free agent next year. You better go get that done right now. Not right now, but right now.
But also, you have to credit the organization for one, for not. Remember when they got rid of Kid, everybody thought that was a terrible move. They didn't give up on Giannis. He started off slow. They didn't give up on him, just like how Golden State didn't give up on Steph Curry. And then they did the best they could, getting Giannis all the help he can get. And once again, what Milwaukee just did, killers and silent, like that was like a thief in the night. Like, and they only lost, I don't want to say only because Drew Holiday is legendary, but to only lose Drew Holiday, and what's the kid I keep forgetting his name? Grayson. Listen, man. Listen. They didn't lose Middleton. They didn't lose Portis. They didn't have to give up Brook. Listen, man. Dame at the one. I don't, who's going to be at the two?
They got Connaughton or West Matthews.
Right.
Connaughton starting
and
now.
Then you got Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez.
With Bobby Portis as your first guy coming off the bench.
They're pretty thin after that, though, huh? Majan, Beauchamp.
But they can make some moves.
Right.
They can get some guys off waivers.
The depth is an issue.
Yes.
The depth is definitely an issue.
They're going to figure that out.
But then they picked up Myers Leonard, right? Didn't they just pick up Myers Leonard?
Right.
They let that guy
back
in the league.
Exactly.
Right, they let him back. But what I'm saying is there's got to be depth. You got to have bodies, right? You got to have bodies. And losing those two guys, I will say this, though. I'm not trying to damper the trade, but they will miss Drew Holiday early. Like early on, when we're watching the first quarter of the season, maybe the first 20 games, right? It's basketball too. So I always tell you, guys got to gel, guys got to figure it out. You got to give them a second to figure it out. But once they figure it out, once they find their places on the court, I think, to be honest with you, everybody keep talking about how does Dame fit. I think Dame is gonna, kind of conform to what Giannis is doing, find his spots within what Giannis does, and then in turn make that easier for Giannis. We can't hear you, Fabian.
I want to go back to what you were saying, Flea, because again, remember the Bucks got rid of that coach, and we were all saying like we didn't like him.
Oh yeah, they
so again,
coach
Adrian Griffin is their new coach.
Griffin, yeah.
How much head coaching experience does he have? So they're taking.
Zero, right?
He's been an assistant coach for the Raptors the last 5 years. They're taking a chance with him, and I think that comes from Giannis. Because remember, Budenholzer, God bless the dead, I think his family went through something during the finals, during the playoffs. I mean, so for them to get rid of him is major. And come on now, like for Giannis, I think he's very calculated. The fact that he's speaking up like this at this point in time and not back then when the coach got fired shows me he's being very slick. I respect his maneuvers. I kind of forgive him now for announcing the whole Hakeem Olajuwon thing. We can get into it in a second if you want. But all these things are very measured. Like that coach was not fired by accident. Giannis didn't want him there. No way possible. He wanted to stay there.
He's a terrible coach. So that's the first time I've seen a team win a title despite coaching.
So we don't think Budenholzer is a very good coach.
Honestly, I don't think so.
Okay,
to be honest with you,
that's probably another discussion. But what I do know about Griffin is he's more of a defensive-minded coach. But in terms of his offensive schemes, he runs a lot of ISO stuff, right? And that's going to be a concern for what they got going on. It can't be Giannis's turn, then Dame's turn, then Giannis's turn, then Dame's turn. That offense can't run like that for them to be successful. They should win 60 games this coming season. They should be a 60-win team this coming season.
Well, I can see some pick and rolls with Dame as the ball handler and Giannis as the roller could be pretty good. Because you really got to respect Dame coming off those screens. Giannis in the short roll going downhill, that could be really great. Fully
agree with you, Dom. Just don't put those guys in ISO situations the first 5 possessions of a game. I don't want to see that. Yeah. That's not gonna bode well for them.
A little dribble.
And that fully worries me. That fully worries me. I'm told. Remember, you just gave up the identity of the team, really, with Grayson Allen and Drew Holiday gone. To me, that's the identity of the philosophy is really a lot of defense. Because offensively, they always look like I ain't watching this unless Middleton is hot. They're not really nothing to watch like that. Like we always come on Giannis.
This helps them though. They have a major threat offensively. Come off screens a little bit. Can shoot from lights out from anywhere. Really
but now you have to score. And I say what you want. This is the whole argument, and it goes back to him training with Hakeem Olajuwon. He has to figure out a way to score more often now and be way more efficient on more volume shooting. Giannis gonna have to shoot more now, from what you're saying, because defensively they took a step back.
He doesn't have to shoot more. Why would he have to shoot more?
Because you're giving up more possessions.
How?
They got worse on defense.
Yeah, but how? Okay. I kind
of.
They were
the fourth best defensive rated team in the NBA last season.
But does allowing a lot more points equate to there's way more possessions in the game?
The game is they'll have more possessions. The game is gonna be faster than what it was when they had.
You're talking about because of offensively, you think Dame's gonna push pace a little bit?
No, I'm talking about defensively. How many closeouts are you gonna have when you don't have Drew Holiday and Grayson Allen starting some stuff in the defensive side of the court? Drew Holiday got killed by Jimmy Butler last year. I don't know how much he has left. So I think it's a major upgrade on offense. Do not get me wrong. On one-on-one type of plays. But like you said, Flea, now you're worrying me because what kind of schemes are you going to draw up? How innovative are you going to be with Giannis and Dame Lillard there? Because you have a lot going on with those two, but you got to be way better on offense and have an imagination there, because I don't see this. You have to have a super offense to lose that much on defense, in my opinion.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be very, very interested to see what spots they're looking to get to, especially Dame. Giannis is all over the floor. Obviously, he gets all of his points in the paint, but you can find him all over the floor. He's flying around doing, you know what I'm saying, doing all of that. So with what they've lost and what they already lacked in depth, yeah, they got to be in concern. And training camp is right around the corner. So we can't just bet on Giannis and Dame coming together and this thing just continues to roll.
Well, let me ask y'all a question. I'm reading the comments. Big shout out Fish, BG, Mel. Big shout out everybody.
Yeah, shout out everybody in the comments.
And BG and Fish is basically saying that they not too excited about it because Portis is finished and Chris Middleton his health. Let me say this. Let me ask y'all a question. If Dame was going to Miami, with Miami losing Vincent, losing Strauss, and losing Zeller,
and losing the hero.
And losing Hero. Y'all telling me that was a championship team, but him going to Milwaukee with Giannis and Middleton, we reserve to say that that's a championship team?
No,
hold on. All right, but y'all have to make that make sense.
Chris Middleton might be the best third. He might be the best third player in the league. Like if we go down the list, maybe with the exception of Phoenix, right? But if we look at a bunch of other teams, look at the third best player on every other team in the NBA.
He's a legit number 2.
That's what I'm saying. So for Middleton to be number 3 now, he dwarfs every other third option in the NBA.
And if
dwarfs every one of them.
And if we go by
somebody feels different, jump in the comments and let me know who's a better third option aside from maybe on a Phoenix. Who's the best third option besides Chris Middleton?
And Dom, I want you to answer this. How good is Brook Lopez? Because I don't understand how we are still underestimating Brook Lopez, who's literally up for contention for Defensive Player of the Year, can spread the floor, knock down a 3, tough, got post moves. So I'm saying, please somebody make it make sense. If Dame go to Miami, that's a championship team, but he goes to Milwaukee. Milwaukee loses Grayson Allen, who I'm being honest, good player, but he's not the difference maker. Okay, Drew, you telling me you wouldn't do an even swap Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard?
No.
I like Dame. I like Dame more in Milwaukee than I did Miami.
No, I think it's better in Milwaukee. I think
it's fit. I think it's fit more than anything else. Like it would have been love to see him next to Jimmy Butler and Bam, right? Them 3 is all competitive dudes. Them 3 is all guys that get after it. Them 3 is all no nonsense type of dudes, right? But he's going to a team with another. I don't care what nobody says. Giannis is that type of dude too. He's a no nonsense type of dude. He comes on the court. He don't want to work out with niggas. He don't want to fraternize. He don't want to chat. He don't want to do none of that shit. You are linking up with a dude that just loves basketball. So as much as we could be down on it, but we still got to see it play out on the basketball court.
So Fabian, who's a threat in the East? Like, who's a real threat in the East to Milwaukee? All jokes aside, because I'm trying to figure out what is people seeing. I'm a big Knicks fan. This just put us under the garden.
I mean, nah, I wouldn't say that because the Bucks were already they were already championship contenders in our mind going into last year.
Right.
That was a big deal for us with what the Knicks did, and last year's season, Jalen Brunson was a heavy surprise for us. And I like our rotation.
Yes.
DiVincenzo, adding him that's amazing still. So I still willing to be middle of the pack. Cleveland needs to make a move.
But who's a real threat? Like, give me a real threat to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Nah, just Boston. Just Boston. Because what has Miami really done in the offseason? The rookie kid, I think the 2 rookie kids they got, they have some spark, but you don't want to rely on rookies. And then you lost key role. Max Strus is in Cleveland.
Yes.
Gabe Vincent is in LA now, right? So those are not big names, but they look really good for those. And
they lost the big man Zeller. So we can laugh all we want, but once again, he did his part real well. Whether it was rebounding, fouling, doing the little things, and then now Bam don't have no backup, nobody on the side, right? So if Miami, Cleveland, Knicks, let's say Boston, I'm being honest, until Philly can show me that Embiid can stay healthy and Harden could be consistent in the playoffs,
to play another game for them.
Right.
I
So
would call, if I'm Joel, I would be calling, I would have my agent talk to Daryl Morey tomorrow morning. Like, what are you doing
yeah,
for the remainder of this summer? If nothing is moving and shaking, get me the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Get me out of here.
Imagine what Embiid after he sees Giannis pull this off. What is he thinking right now? He got to be thinking, oh, he can do
Get me
that.
out of here.
Who, if you're Philly, who would you trade then? I don't want to change the subject because I don't think Miami has it. Like we going to your point, all ball. And remember, I forgot this point. Remember, Malcolm Brogdon is already supposedly unhappy with being in Boston because he's in trade rumors. How do you think Tyler Hero feels right now? I understand he's supposed to be a professional and everything like that. He's very young and he still has to pad his stats up.
6 man of the year. Shut the fuck up and play.
I'm being honest. Yeah,
I get that. I get that, but now we're talking about a team that had championship, that went to the championship last year, and then you got Tyler Hero, a major piece that was going to come back and give you that spark. He's a bigger piece to the Heat than Brogdon is to the Celtics, right?
Ooh,
that's a good question. I don't know.
So let's
now
yeah,
with the
right now
with the subtraction of Marcus Smart, Brogdon might what they're asking him to do might elevate. Obviously,
Yes.
Derek White is the starter in place of Marcus Smart. But
Yes.
what they gonna ask of
I say both of them, but they're gonna ask of White and Brogdon. They ain't never been in that position.
yeah, they're gonna be asked to do a lot more.
Yes. Yes.
Zay said something that's interesting. That Drew to Boston thing.
I love that.
I love that.
I love that. That's a perfect fit for Drew to me.
Look at Don.
Drew, right.
Don, talk to me, Don. What happened?
No, that's a good.
Oh, you were
No, remember now Portland.
Trade for Harden. I'd rather trade for Drew Holiday.
Yeah, why would Portland keep Drew Holiday? Now he's expendable.
Right.
He's a major trade asset.
But he don't care about money. Hold on. He don't care about money. Buy him out and somebody pick him up gladly.
No, but let me say this though. If I want any guard in the NBA next to Scoot Henderson right now as he's coming in as a rookie, it got to be Drew Holiday. Right? I love Drew Holiday. Now I know that it's not the ideal fit. They're up and coming team. They're a young team. Obviously, Drew said in the next 2 years he's gonna retire, so he wants to continue to play at a high level. But to have Drew right next to that Scoot Henderson kid, I think is amazing for him and his development.
But you know,
if they decide to keep
Portland, once again, big shout out to Zach. Portland didn't do bad in this trade. You got Aiden, who's young. You got that young core, Grandin over there, Simons. Listen, man, if they could keep that core together and, like you said, maybe make another move for Drew. Because, like I said, as much as I would like Drew over there, I wouldn't want him over there for 1 or 2 years and then he go. I think you try to build a young core. Because Drew want to go somewhere where he want to be able to retire, maybe get another right, but
he want to
also
play and play for
exactly. So I think Portland is not bad, but I want to stay on this Damian Lillard to the Bucks. I think honestly, this feels like Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love. I'm being honest, and like I said, Dame got about 4 more years in them. They gonna win 2 championships. Now, if they win, oh my God, I'm gonna have to retract. This is gonna be so crazy. If they win 2 championships, which I think they could do, Giannis will have 3 chips. 9 times out of 10, he's gonna get one of those Finals MVP. So he'll have 2 of those, 2 back-to-back. Defensive Player of the Year. His numbers is gonna be retarded. I'm gonna have to make a public apology to everybody.
No. Call me first.
No. Right.
Call me first.
Because if that happens, I don't even want to say it. Wow.
Yo, y'all want to get to some YouTube comments? We got our peoples in here. Jesse's in here. He says, "What's up, fellas? Great move from the Blazers. You want Joel to choke for the Knicks?" Jesse.
Anything for the Knicks to not be good, man.
Yeah, they all hate us for that, man. The East was dysfunctional. The Heat were the better run team. The Bucks will go as far as Giannis takes them. That's easy 06. No excuse for the Bucks for a championship or bust. The Jean Marcus Lakers Bucks finals. I'm calling it. Good luck with that, DeJohn.
Lakers Bucks finals. The league will love that, but I'm sorry. I'm going Phoenix Bucks again. Sorry.
Denver.
Phoenix Bucks.
I like
that's a good match. That's a good matchup.
Yeah.
I'm going to FanDuel right after this. Bucks had to do it. Props to them for making it work. They got Beasley. Who's Beasley? I forgot.
Oh, I think hold on. Hey, Mel. Remember, it's taking time. I'm gonna have my list this weekend. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Mel.
Listen, in 2003, I already got about 10 players.
He's not running because I'm on his back. Pause.
He's
not running. He can't run from that.
Bucks are too heavy. Celtics have the depth. Also, Bucks have a new coach, right? Who is their backup point guard?
That's what I wanted to say real quick, fellas. When Kevin Garnett went over to Boston, Doc Rivers is the head coach, correct? Like,
yes.
He had already been there. He had already lost a couple, had some couple losing seasons, right? They're getting Dame in a situation now where it's a first-year head coach. First-year head coach, and now we have aspirations of this team being a championship-level team. Now, what does this coach have on his side? He comes from the tree of Nick Nurse. Now, Nick Nurse got the Toronto Raptors and won a championship with them. So I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's either a recipe for like a lot of success or it's a recipe for fucking failure, and it could be David Blatt all over again. You know what I'm saying? Like getting him out of there mid-year and going with something different.
But Flea, look, Greg Simpkins, big shout out Greg_Simpkins. But Kawhi went over to Toronto with a first-year head coach and he won.
Right. Nah, I'm clear on that. Nick Nurse was a first-year head coach, so it could very well happen. Not to mention Adrian Griffin was on that coaching staff that won in Toronto. So it could happen. I'm nervous. I'm gonna be honest with you. And we could take it. This ain't got to take it this way, but they give these black head coaches and they get them in these spots, and sometimes they're not the ideal spot, but they get a head coaching job and they're like, fuck it, I got a job. And then they get the job, and then they get a raw deal, and then they'll never get another opportunity. So I'm just saying it's a first-year head coach. I know because it's Dame and Giannis, there's championship aspirations, but we might have to give them a year.
But can I say something?
It is a lot of pressure for a rookie head coach, I will say.
But Dom, let me ask you a question. I'm reading the comments, right? And
hey, BG, but Vogel is a championship coach, though.
Right? But why are we acting like Dame is going to a Milwaukee Bucks that never got over the hump? They champions. They have the players. They have the pedigree. They have the chemistry. They have it all. I'm trying to figure out before this trade, when we all have these talks and we go fully healthy, who we like in the East. Most of us said Milwaukee. Some said Boston, but a lot of people said Milwaukee. How do they add one of the top 10 best players in the NBA, and we're like poo-pooing that? Now we bringing up Chris Middleton. Now we bringing up this. But before this trade, when we talk about the teams that's fully healthy, because of course we saying going into the season everybody's healthy. Everybody had the Bucks going to the finals, or had them as the favorites
last year.
Right. I was saying Boston this past weekend, but I'm probably changing it to Milwaukee right now, to be honest.
No, but Don, Boston is fine. Some people said Boston, but a lot of us said Milwaukee fully healthy. Remember, we was excited that they re-signed Middleton and Brook Lopez. So I'm just trying to figure out, why are we not acting like Dame is not that? I'm trying to figure that out.
Because I think we talking, okay, Dame Lillard is a buck. So that looks cool. The headline looks cool. It looks nice on paper, right? But when, people in the comments, when us four do what we do and we start talking this basketball thing, right? You start peeling back the layers. You start looking at it from an analytical perspective. And when you start looking at it, we just had a whole 10-minute conversation on how much they're going to miss Drew Holiday, right? That matters. We just had a conversation. I ain't never heard Grayson Allen's name called so much in my life, but we talking about him right now because he was part of what they was doing over there. Like, and let's not forget, they're 2 years removed from a championship. So this is a different team. It's not the same team that won the championship. It's not the same coach. It's different. So, we gotta wait and see before we start saying Milwaukee's the clear-cut favorite.
I never said clear-cut. It's a toss-up between those two, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'm saying clear cut.
Okay.
You know, I jump.
Yeah.
You know, I jump out the window. No parachute.
That's not even jumping
I
out
know
the
you
window,
jump. You
man.
jump out the fucking window all the time.
That's not even that crazy though. Look at their team.
No,
As you said, Chris Middleton.
It's not though. It's not though.
Yeah.
Two has done worse. He's done worse.
Come on, man. I'm always doing worse. It's all good, man. I deal with it, man. I'm listen, man. I just don't understand. Like I said, when you watch the game, they all are vets. Nobody's young. I think they all have the same mindset. Giannis wants to go down as one of the greatest. He wants to be great, so he's willing to do whatever it takes. Dame, as cool as he is, and he's one of my favorite players. I've argued all y'all up here about Dame. He better than Luka, this and that. You know, I get all the backlash. He's at a point in his career. I'm pretty sure he wants to win. He wants to be. Yes, I think he's better than Luka. I've always said that. Always said that. And we're going to see this year. You'll see. And I think
if Luka was a second option, that'd be very interesting.
Okay. Once again, we can say who's the second option. I know who's going to have the ball in his hands at the end of games.
Lucas
with the clock going down.
6'7" triple-double threat every night. Can create one-man wrecking crew on offense.
All right. He got a legit
the conference finals with no stars.
He had
concerns.
Here we go.
Concerns that people have.
They went to the conference finals with no star.
Okay, but I think McCollum is basically a star.
See? All right. Is McCollum better than Brunson?
Then last year, then 2022 Brunson, I would say yes. But that is a good counterpoint. Brunson is good.
I would have to think on that. Let me ask y'all something. Fabian and Dom. And two, of course. But the concerns that folks have, because I've seen some comments, they have some concerns about Dame being ball dominant, Giannis being ball dominant, right? The same situation is going to happen over in Phoenix, right? Now, KD doesn't need the ball. Book needs it. I don't care what nobody says. Book needs
works
the rock.
Pretty quickly, though, off the catch as well, and can play off the ball.
Yeah, but Book needs the rock. All that, everybody eats shit that Brad Beal was kicking in Washington. This is a different spot now. This is a different spot. And we putting the ball in your hands to create offense for two of the best players in the league. That's your job this year. Your job is not to go get 30 this year, Brad. So the concerns that people have for Milwaukee, you kind of got to have the same concerns for Phoenix, right? Like, you got to have the same concerns for them.
Go ahead, Fade. Your thoughts on that?
As far as injury, yeah, I 1,000% agree with you because it's championship or bust for both of them. Milwaukee cannot lose this year. The Phoenix Suns cannot lose this year. That's what, again, it's like the Garnett trade to the Celtics. It's automatic championship expectations. By the way, before the trade, the Milwaukee Bucks their odds were plus 500 to go win the championship. Now they're the favorites in the league, plus 400 and plus 390 on two different sites. Denver dropped from plus 475 to plus 425. And another line, Caesars Sportsbook, Milwaukee is at plus 375. So in a lot of in the sports book, a lot of sports books' eyes, Milwaukee has jumped up to the leader favorite in the championship. Yeah. So I think I agree, man. I think Phoenix and Milwaukee, and I didn't realize that. AllBall just said it. For them to have a repeat with Phoenix versus Milwaukee, I don't know if the league wants that per se, because we always get into conspiracy bag. But I like it. They're both retooled. Why wouldn't they? And I said, I really like the Phoenix trade because they complement each other. Like Bradley Beal, he's able to play second fiddle, no problem, third fiddle, no problem. He's a poor man's Ray Allen in this situation, and I love it for that. And KD, like you said, to me, mentally, he's always been a Robin. So he has no problem being, you know what? I don't mind being in the shadow.
He's not just a Robin anymore. Now he's the third guy, very clearly.
He's Alfred.
Yeah, but Kevin, damn, Sue.
That wasn't meant like.
No.
Damn,
this guy was riding for KD for the entire week, and he just called KD Alfred from Batman.
No, we're talking about Bill.
Bill?
I thought you called Kevin Durant. I'm bugging over here.
Y'all cold-blooded. See what I'm saying? See how y'all be doing me on here?
Nah, but no, Kevin. You would think, right? Kevin is supposed to be like this polarizing player, but he gonna go get 35 on 15 shots, right? And those 15 shots, when you look at it in the box score, the guy who takes the most FGAs is the number one option, right? But it don't always work out like that with Kev. Even in OKC,
but he should.
In their tenure, the time that they was playing together, Russell Westbrook took more field goal attempts in total than Kevin Durant. But Kev was the first option, right? He's just super efficient. He gonna go get his on 10 to 15 shots, and that's gonna be that. So
well, I agree with Fabian though. Is that something you want? This is the guy we talk about as the top 5 scorer ever. He needs to shoot more sometimes. That's one of my biggest knocks on KD at times.
Oh, I feel
grab the game and take over.
I feel that, but if I can maintain my efficiency and go put 40 on your head, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, but exactly. Not
what again?
Are you winning? That's what it comes down to.
I mean, that's ultimately what matters.
You're not gonna win if Westbrook is the guy taking that many shots.
That's H in his.
I get it. I get it. But that's what I'm saying. Technically, the Kyrie and KD thing, it was beautiful. When Harden got there, that was beautiful. They all fit together, but they didn't play. Injuries, whatever happened. Again, in Phoenix, I love it because KD does not have to be the lead guy. Like on as a superstar, talking to the press, being on the court. Booker is very aggressive. Even though he's kind of fake tough to me, at least he tries to act tough and it seems authentic, even though I hate it. But what I always say, this guy's a front runner, man. But last year's playoffs, like you said, Flea, he sets the tone. Yes, he's ball dominant, but he makes decisions pretty quickly, man. I really was impressed with Booker and Beal.
Book doesn't hold it. He don't massage. He don't pound the rock. Like he gonna get it, and he's gonna get where he gotta go. I love that.
I think the main thing is I think the Milwaukee thing is not a big deal because I don't think Chris Middleton minds being the guy with the third most touches. He already was probably the guy with the third most touches. He might have to shoot a little bit less. But I think he understands, Chris Middleton's not a guy that, he's been an all-star for a while, but he's not a guy to me that has a huge ego. Do you know what I mean? I think he'll be very comfortable with this. I think Dame and Giannis, it's just two superstar. Well, I think Dame's an all-star. But the point is, those two will get their shots. I don't think they'll be that much of a problem.
He took his shot at you. That's your guy.
He's a superstar.
Dame Lillard's not.
His team just wasn't even close to making the playoffs. I think a superstar will get you in the play-in. Actually, no, that's harsh because Luka didn't make the play-in. But he wasn't close.
No. Look, see, because you say I'm slick. So is Luka a superstar?
No, I took that part back. But Luka's definitely a superstar.
So
Luka's 6'7". He can see over your whole defense.
No.
Here we go.
Listen.
No, Damian Lillard. Who does he make better?
Luka doesn't make the playoffs, but he's a superstar. Dame doesn't make the playoffs, and he's not a superstar.
I think Dame's a superstar. Luka's a superstar because he'll give you a chance against anyone in a playoff series. He really will, even with no stars.
And Dame, hold on,
I gotta sit out.
Hold on, Flea. And Dame doesn't give you a chance in the playoffs. We've seen him do.
Nah,
true.
Not as much. He gets swept. He gets 4-1. He got no.
Yo,
call me.
No, Paul's getting worked up.
No. Call me when Luka gets swept as a higher seed.
When has Luka ever did this? Look. When Luka ever did that?
But I'm telling you, if it wasn't for that 1 year, I like Damian Lillard actually. But if it wasn't for that 1 year,
he's hit some of the biggest shots in NBA playoff history.
Wow.
Hold on.
2 of them.
Yeah. A lot of guys ain't hit none.
And they were both in the first round though.
Hold on.
They're fantastic.
Hold on,
They ended series.
There's a lot of butts.
They did.
Pause.
They ended series.
Damian Lillard.
More butts than ashtrays.
Damian Lillard was going to the playoffs every year when the West was at its toughest.
No, it was declining a little bit.
Fabian. Because people seem to think like Dame has been on this injury run for like 4 years in a row. If you got the laptop fired up in front of you, pull up how many games Dame has played each season for the last 5 seasons.
Bro, this man has been swept so much.
No,
he gets a
but there seems to be this thing that like Dame has been hurt for the last 5 years in a row. That's just not true.
He was hurt 1 year.
Right.
Listen, he lost to that Denver team without Jokic and without Murray and Porter. Like
no,
man. Or not Porter, without Murray.
Can we agree? Without Dame Lillard, How good is those Portland teams, man? Like,
they're not
let's
that
be
good.
right.
They don't make the playoffs. What are you talking
They're
about?
good, but you can say the same about Luka. I just think Luka's a 6'7" tractor. He'll literally get your shoulder when he's shoulders into you. He can play bully ball.
We can't say the same thing about Luka. Luka went to the Western Conference Finals because he had a good team.
With no other All-Star with him.
Come on now, Brunson's is basically
coming out party. He wasn't as good as he was with New York. It was his coming out party.
Seems
Fleet, answer your question as Don Draper's running on the treadmill now because he don't nowhere fast. Fleet, 58 games, 29 games, 67 games, 66 games, and 80 games in 2018, 2019.
So the last 2 seasons he's dealt with injury, right? You said 58 last year, and the year before that was 29.
58, 29, 67,
and
66.
And that 29 season was like, is that the COVID season? What is that?
Not 21, 22. 2 years ago.
Okay, so he meant so the last 2 seasons he has been hurt, which
regardless though, my overall point was I think Phoenix is more of a concern with like shot distribution and stuff because Beal has been the number 1 option for the last 5 years on his team, and now he's number 3.
Oh, whoa, great point, Mel. Great point. He played 58 games and they won 33.
Okay.
Hold on, Fabian. While Don finishes his point, can you bring up how many years Dame been in the league and how many times he made the playoffs?
Damian Lillard's been in the league for 11 seasons, and he has made the playoffs for
every year since his second year.
Every single season besides his first season and this past season. And
right.
I'm sorry, these past 2
That's a big reason why he's top 75.
Leave that alone.
That's a big reason why.
Leave that alone.
I did want to ask this though, because there's 2 questions I want to get to before we get out of here. Number 1, who's better right now? Because the dynamic duels in the league is who right now? Jokic and
Murray.
Jamal Murray.
You got LeBron, AD. You got Clay, Steph.
What? That one's. I don't know about Klay Thompson these days, man. I like the guy.
All right.
Right, but now you have
this. That's the first. And Dime, I've been doing my tally marks on Klay Thompson and how he gets at. Dime does it a lot to Klay. Dime, he's gonna make you walk that shit back this year.
I love Klay Thompson. I've been a fan of him since Washington State. I love Klay Thompson.
You got Tatum Brown. Until Embiid get traded, you got Embiid Harden. I mean, you have a lot of duos, and now you got Dame and you got Giannis.
Right. So now with Dame and Giannis,
Brunson and Randall. Fuck is wrong with you niggas? Brunson and Randall.
I want to say,
fuck that, because now you get freaky in the comments. Brunson and Randall.
Brunson and Randall.
Brunson and Randall.
We cannot say Kawhi and Paul George. I'm sorry, Dom.
No, I can't wait till they. But when we
but now we're talking about legit, traditional, historical, big man, little man, dynamic duo.
Jalen.
Right.
Yeah.
But even they're kind of clunky. Again, Jamal Murray and Joker fit perfectly fine.
For sure.
We're thinking Dame Lillard and Giannis might fit perfectly fine.
Did we say Murray and Joker? I messed that up.
That's the number 1 duo. That's a traditional, duo.
Jimmy and Bam.
Hammer time.
No, they're not on this level.
Talk to us.
No. You gotta put. But what Miami's been doing, you gotta put Jimmy and Bam up there. You gotta do that.
But they're not gonna be Dame and Giannis. They're not.
They probably won't.
Okay, so here's my question. To me, this is a traditional big man, little man duo, and it's Jokic, Jamal Murray, Giannis, and Dame. All right, Giannis and Jokic, we can argue all day. We've been arguing for last week. Who's better? Who's better, Jamal Murray or Dame Lillard right now?
I'm probably gonna have to go Dame still. I probably would have to go Dame.
I'm going Dame.
You're hesitating that much. So Luka and Jamal Murray, you're gonna think about it all ball?
Luka and Jamal Murray?
Give me Luka.
Dude, that's 1 year that you didn't. I know you didn't make the plane, and that's
embarrassing.
But come on,
hold on, y'all. You want me to be honest? I'm gonna take Jamal Murray over Luka.
That's insanity.
Wow.
No, but let me explain. Now, once again,
I think you guys are forgetting.
You would get fired immediately as the GM.
All right. Watch this.
No, you need to play this guy in a playoff series so you see what he does. He literally, oh my God, bro! I have thank God we beaten him because we actually have had a better team twice. But he
who his favorite play is.
Going crazy.
It ain't the Clippers.
No, he's a lazy and he gets fat in the season. But
how we get
leave him. No, leave him.
No, he's generation.
Get fish out of here.
Fish, dude. No, man. You can put us four with Luka, and he would still get a decent shot
You hear it?
sometimes.
Look at this shit.
I'm
I ain't never
serious.
seen Dom like this.
Pick and roll with him, he'll create a good shot. He's like how LeBron can create good shots. He can do the same.
Hey, Fleet. All right, let me ask y'all a question.
He's
All
how
jokes-
like LeBron could create a good
All
shot.
jokes
Yes,
aside.
he can create a great shot and pick and roll every
All
time.
jokes aside.
With
Luka-
Joker?
No, Luka can create a
He
good
said
shot and pick
Luka.
and roll every time.
Yeah. 'Cause
Listen.
the best thing about Luka is he plays at his own speed. Not a soul can speed him up, and he's as strong as every player in the NBA.
Please,
He'll
why?
get you a good
Don't
look
please.
every time.
Don't entertain these little young chumps comparing Luka against LeBron.
I'm
Stop
just
doing
saying,
that.
creating shots. The biggest gap for me is LeBron's athleticism and his defense.
It's not close.
But he can
Fellas,
still
what
get
you
you a
about- what
good
you
shot
about
every
to say, too?
time.
Why does Jamal Murray get disrespected? Let me just say this. We can say what we want about Joker. He didn't win till Jamal Murray got there and was healthy. We seen Jamal Murray in the bubble. Legendary. I'm not saying he's better than Luka, but we're not going to keep acting like Luka is lights ahead of people. Jamal Murray can't show his full skill set because he's playing with an all-time great. Now, am I saying Jamal Murray can have a team on his back on his own? I don't know.
No, you
But-
know that he can't. No, you know
No, I
that
don't
he
know
can't.
that. No, I don't.
No, you know
I
that.
don't, Fleet. No,
When you look at him
no.
as when you
You
look
don't
at
think
him
he's
as a
gonna be in the playoffs?
basketball player, you know that. You know that he cannot.
Really?
Is Kyrie the best? We say Kyrie got one of the best skill sets of all time, right? Luka has a legit superstar next to him. What
No, he
is
doesn't. He's a star, Kyrie Irving. He's not a superstar to me.
that's to you, Dom?
Dom,
Y'all got,
how many
listen,
superstars in the
The-
league
the
right
person-
now?
Like
you think y'all gotta stop?
9 or 10, maybe.
9 or 10?
Yes.
10?
Hey, Dom.
Is that a lot?
Do
or
you
It's the
think-
question, no ball.
Do
Not
you
more,
That's a
not
lot.
more than 11.
hold on, real
That's a
The
quick.
cap is at 12.
The Atlanta Hawks? Did they make a mistake trading for Trae Young and not keeping Luka?
I don't think so.
I mean, they probably did, but I mean, it came out fine. Trae Young is great.
Okay,
How could
I
they
don't
have
think
known?
so.
Who's that? The homie? That's the homie?
Yeah,
listen, man.
Chandler.
Listen,
I think so. I think so, AllBall. Luka's better than Trae Young.
okay.
Luka's better than Trae Young. He's in the playoffs. If he's going out and beat, he might single-handedly beat them 76ers that year.
Pause. He's just a bigger player than Trae Young. That's all it is,
That-
man. I'll give him the
100%.
size.
But you know how I feel.
That matters, though.
Yes,
that matters.
yes, okay,
Right?
okay.
Right, though, too?
Yes,
That matters.
yes, it does.
Like-
It does. It does. So my thing is this. You know, I don't want to turn this into a Luka live because we ain't gonna stay on bus so much longer because we giving y'all overtime. What is the expectations for Dallas this year? If this is why I say when I say people overrated. Of course I exaggerate, but when y'all telling me Baby Bird, he can get any shot he want, he this and that. Give me the expectations for Dallas Mavericks this year.
They got to make the play-in.
I think Dallas. Is that Chandler?
No.
Yeah, it is.
No. Hey, Fleet, no.
Right.
Let y'all heard what Dom said. We gonna let him get away with that, right? What did you say, Dom?
So you better give him the play-in.
Playing?
No, make the playoffs. Yeah, make the playoffs. You just got to make the playoffs.
For them to have Luka and Kyrie as the guns that you got on your hips, right? If you pulling out those two guns and you going to a gunfight, you should be in good shape to make it out of that fight a couple times with some wins. I don't know how many wins that is, but they should be in good shape. If Luka, we're talking about an all NBA first team selection from a rookie. Like a
He was
rookie.
all NBA first. He was a rookie. No, he was not.
Second year.
Okay.
So second season. Excuse me. Second year player. My fault, Don. Second year player. He's first team all NBA and has been there since then, right? We're talking about that caliber of player. I don't see championship, but I damn sure don't see them. They're not going to flame out another year.
Well, do you think
those two guys?
I wouldn't. Do you think it's harsh to say they're supposed to go to the second round because the West is pretty good and they don't really have that many good defenders? There's
What
Dwight Powell.
excuses?
No, I mean Dwight Powell's. First of all, neither of those two play D. Luka and Kyrie Irving. Really.
Here we go.
Somebody's going to have to.
Grant-
Though.
Here we
Playing
go.
for Jason
Williams,
Kidd, one of them is going to have to.
Dwight Powell. They got to just try. You know, at the very least, Luka. The season they made the conference finals, at least trying. You know what I mean?
Here we
Kyrie,
go.
when he won the chip, he was at least trying. If they can put that level of effort, they can be decent. But I don't know if they can be a good defensive team. And then Dwight Powell is maybe the worst starting center in the league. He doesn't offer much. He's a decent lob threat. He doesn't really block any shots.
Luka got a
I
top.
don't think they have a great roster.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a 7 or 8 seed. All ball.
To have any expectations though, too, how could you have expectations if their roster not good?
I have expectations if y'all not you, but when people tell me Luka is this and that, okay, make it happen. Dame Lillard made it happen all them years in Portland.
What do you mean make it happen? He got first rounded out every
He got to the
year. Never won.
So now getting to the playoffs means nothing.
No, it does. That's why I said get to the playoffs.
Okay. Because he didn't get there last year.
Neither did Dame. Dame wasn't even close.
Luka was just in the conference finals 2 seasons ago.
Jalen Brunson got a good payday with New York because of that playoffs. He had a coming out party and he earned every bit of it. And he's only gotten better.
That's what I'm saying. So how can we say, Luka hasn't done anything in a couple years he's been in the league?
No, he took my Clippers to the brink with a healthy Kawhi in every single game and a healthy.
But I'm not saying he hasn't done anything. I'm not saying he's not great. But when we start just going berserk,
not going berserk,
okay,
because I think he's better than Dame.
No.
So for the sake, hold on, for the sake of what BG just said, OKC T-Wolves might get the last spot.
Like, is Dallas really that much better than Oklahoma City?
Real quick, before we get off here, can we get everybody's 1 through 8 in the Western Conference right now? Man, 1 through 8.
I haven't made it yet, but let me.
Phoenix, Denver, Clippers, Lakers. I don't have anybody like ranked number 1. For me, number 1 team in the Western Conference is the Phoenix Suns. Okay. Number 1.
Right.
Okay.
Nuggets ain't messing with me. I got them number 2. Number 3 is the Lakers.
Okay.
And the Clippers, I'll go Clippers 4. Golden State 5. Okay. Minnesota.
Golden State may be a disaster.
Yeah, they have a potential to be. Yeah.
Where's Memphis at for y'all?
Ooh, I got them like 6 or 7. But I'm always lower on Memphis than the actuality, which I don't like that. But I feel like
but that's all right. So we got Memphis.
Last year.
Right, 2 straight years. But John Morant.
Yeah.
John's out 25 games.
Though. The Kings. Thank you.
That's true.
Thank you, Mel.
In the regular season, man, the Sacramento Kings are healthy. They're still going to win a lot of games. They're only going to get better to me.
Thank you. Yeah, I got the Kings better than Golden State.
Kings might be better than the Clippers, I think, in the regular season. I think they will.
I'll throw y'all off. I'm going Phoenix 1. I'm going Lakers 2.
Third.
Yeah, Denver lost. Listen, man, Jeff Green and the other dude, man, the Swiss Army knife.
Bruce Brown is a big
those are big losses. Those are big losses. I'm sorry. I'm going, and one thing I'm gonna say, LeBron in the regular season be legendary. So I'm going Phoenix. I'm going Lakers. I'm going Denver, and I'm gonna throw y'all for a loop. I'm going Sacramento Kings.
4.
That's 4.
It was a 3 seed last year. That's
right.
Fine.
That's 4.
Hold on, stop right there. Dallas ain't messing with none of those teams.
I agree.
Watch this.
Totally agree.
That's fine. We got 4 more.
Now, are we talking fully healthy?
I mean,
everything is
because
no,
because if we're talking fully healthy, what does that mean? I think the Clippers would be top 3 then.
But
all right,
they're not.
It won't be healthy, right?
Dom, that's your list. Hold on. If we talking fully, fully healthy, I give
the Cordy wins.
And I gotta take on y'all. I gotta take for Kawhi one day. I'm over Kawhi. I'm gonna give Clippers number 5.
Fine.
I give Clippers number 5. I'm gonna give Memphis number 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Pelicans number 7.
They're dangerous if they can stay healthy too. It's big if, but
in that 8, I gotta give it to them because they made it last year. This last season, I'm gonna give Minnesota the 8th spot. I don't like. I'm not rolling with Dallas, and I think OKC is still too young. They don't have enough. My opinion. I can be wrong, but that's my 8.
That's not bad.
Houston is the West is still better than the East, man.
I wouldn't say still. I think it got better again, but last 2 years it wasn't. You guys could argue the East was better the last 2 years, to be honest.
No, they weren't. I thought they were too, and no, they weren't. So the 8th and 9th seeds for Western Conference was the play-in with the Lakers.
Hey, Fish.
So they made the conference finals, so they ended up being a top 2 team.
The Lakers going to have
they were better.
The Lakers going to have a good regular season.
Miami just made the championship,
but I go against them in the playoffs.
Miami
I'm only saying that for regular season.
This may, and I know Dom is going to like the way this sounds. I honestly, genuinely think this is the actual year that you're going to get to see what Kawhi and PG actually look like together.
Over Kawhi.
I genuinely think that. I genuinely think that. If it's ever gonna happen, it's gonna happen this year.
Wow.
If that happens, that changes everything. Everybody's mix.
Yeah, because remember, you know what's so funny, man? You guys had your second round high, and then my team goes out in the first round. But it's crazy because when Kawhi and Paul were healthy, I did a live with AllBall after they played at the Garden, and we beat you guys pretty handily because we have fucking Kawhi, and when he's healthy, he's really good.
Yo, please, I'm gonna be honest.
He's really good when he plays.
You should put that bet down in FanDuel because that's a total shocker. I don't see I can't see Kawhi being held. I don't see it. I give up on him. I'm done with that shit.
I'm done with Kawhi, man.
I don't want to hear that.
You see what you said? You see what Fabian said? What Tu said? Now multiply that by like 100,000, right? There's 100,000 people all saying, "I'm done with Kawhi. Fuck Kawhi. Get Kawhi out of here. Fuck this dude." Right? There's all of that. He ain't a talker. We don't ever see him in the media. He don't chat. He don't do none of that shit. But when he's on the floor, when he's on the court, he's kicking your favorite player's ass. Fabian, your favorite player. Dime, whoever your favorite player is, and whoever my favorite player is too. Like, so let's cut this out.
20. That's just not every 5 years, it seems like Kawhi. Dude, that was one fucking time. You know, it was in a bubble in Orlando.
Can I say this?
2014, 2019, 2024. Every 5 years, Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard is lucky Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson got hurt. That saved his.
You're right about that.
That saved his legacy. Because if that doesn't happen,
his legacy. That's
I don't know about his legacy, but that
watch this.
No, it does.
That saved him because if that doesn't happen, we would not be talking about fucking Kawhi Leonard, man.
Question: Kawhi don't get that. Is he a top 75 player?
No.
Dude, comment.
No.
That many people.
Yo, if y'all still in the building, Kawhi doesn't win the championship in Toronto. So that means currently right now, he has one championship, one finals MVP, 2 defensive player of the years. Obviously, multiple time All-Star. Is he still a top 75 guy?
So LeBron can go 4-1 and lose to that team and then get swept the next year. And he's in the GOAT conversation. But Kawhi Leonard his legacy was saved by winning, even if he would lose in 6 games in that finals to the KD Warriors.
Are you forgetting that LeBron came back down 3-1 in the finals? Are we forgetting that Kawhi Leonard is not even the same stratosphere as LeBron James?
Fuck that.
What are we talking about, man? No. That's not the point. AllBall said that the Golden State Warriors getting hurt and Kawhi getting that chip saved his legacy 1,000%. Because the way we view Kawhi Leonard today has everything to do with the fact. Fuck that. What you're saying, everything how we view Kawhi right now. Remember, he was the one that Popovich kicked down. He said, "Yo, I had enough of this dude." Just like your boy Ty Lue said last year on the low and can't really scream out. Let's not forget that, Dom Dropper. Now we're covering for your boy in September of 2023. Yeah, exactly. Now he's not your boy.
And Fleet. By the way, let's stop acting like he went to an expansion team. He went to a great team that was getting to the conference finals and getting to the playoffs. Let's stop acting like he went.
Let's
save it for next Wednesday. Let's save it for next Wednesday. Wednesday.
This is no. Can I just say something? There's a difference between not viewing him the same way and saving legacy. Saving legacy is ridiculous. This is a guy from Fresno State that was. I can't get
saving legacy.
No. The next Bruce Bowen, and he elevated it to getting compared to Jordan in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Statistically.
Exactly, Don. Exactly. No, stay right there. No. I love that. Look how you set yourself up. If now he's compared to the next Jordan on the Spurs, and you go to Toronto and you lose
in the championship,
how do you think they're going to talk about you? Exactly.
Bro, he's still beating Giannis though in this hypothetical. He's still beating the Sixers.
Think about. Hold up, real quick, y'all. Think about this. We've watched DeMar DeRozan go on podcast after podcast talking about how he could not get past LeBron James and elevate to the next level. Year after year after year. Now, not saying Kawhi had to go through LeBron at that moment, but as soon as they flip-flop them, they're in the final.
You got it.
And winning championships.
Fleet.
Right?
Did he go? Fleet. Did he meet LeBron on that path?
No, that's what I just said. I said in the midst of it, He did not run into LeBron.
And
let me
without
just say
that,
this.
and without that lucky bounce, he don't even. Listen, I don't listen, man.
That lucky bounce. That's just a tough shot. Let me just say this.
Nah, that might be
Kevin
the
Durant.
best. Hold on, that might be the best bounce in basketball history.
Okay.
Let's be clear about that.
Hey,
that was
listen,
crazy.
Kyle Lowry
They said the
shooting
rims
that
got the
shot's not
magnet,
getting
and they
fuck
was
up
like
there.
that. Y'all heard that,
What'd you say, Dom?
right?
No, Kawhi also in 2017, the Spurs, I'm not saying they would have won, but the Spurs were kicking the Warriors' ass, and then Zaza stepped under him, and no one wants to say a word.
They were
Okay.
up
And they had a cakewalk after
was
that.
up-
A cakewalk.
But that,
Hold on.
but Dom, wait, that's the point. That was all the hype behind Kawhi, and while we were like, "Yo, he's going to Toronto," that's crazy.
He was playing
but-
great.
Yes,
So, hold on,
I agree. But the point is that if now you go to Toronto and you're a coach killer, and he's been warning everybody about you for the public service announcement, like, "Yo,
Who's the
be
coach
careful with
killer?
it."
Killer. Greg Popovich didn't get
Kawhi,
fired.
whatever
Greg
his
didn't get
middle
fired.
name is, Leonard. And hold on. And another reason why he
fuck out of here.
exactly
This Fabian said
Your
he's
man-
a coach killer.
he's a coach killer.
Yo,
He just ask Ty Lue. Ask Ty Lue and ask Greg Popovich. You guys don't want to talk about it.
Yo, for everybody that tapped in, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. For sportsmen, y'all. This nigga Fabian is nuts.
Every Wednesday. Every
This
Wednesday.
nigga's nuts.
Dude, you guys are off your rocker with this.
Hold on.
Dom.
Never. I 1,000%
he called
agree.
him a
Hey,
coach killer.
hey,
Coach
Coach
killer.
killer. He
Hey,
got
Fleet.
one coach fired.
Can I just get a?
I don't even
Can I get
I got anybody fired.
Can I get a yes?
That's crazy.
Can I get a yes or no answer before we get out of here? If Kawhi Leonard doesn't win in Toronto, he just has that one.
I mean, Clippers.
And he has that one in
Toronto.
San Antonio. Are we talking about Kawhi as one of the greatest small forwards of all time?
Maybe not.
Yes, I think we're still talking about him, but I think the conversation is different. And I think people in the comments and all of us need to be flat out honest that if he does not have that ring that he won in Toronto, the conversation is different.
Definitely.
It's just-
That's the comment.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Fleet.
That's the comment of the night.
They called me and Fabian, Christopher Williams, and Genuine.
We can do that for a lot of players, though. We can do that. No, what?
Yo, BG's a bug
We
out.
can do that for a lot of players.
Yo, BG, BG is a bug out.
I love it. Yeah.
Yo, it's gonna be the 5 sportsmen
We
in
can-
a minute.
We can do that for a lot of players.
Nah. BG got the comment of the night.
What
That
he said?
He brought the flamethrower out.
What
Just,
that
that
was
was
it.
crazy.
The show
He
is
called me-
listen,
Who's genuine in this?
I must be genuine because I don't got the hat on.
big shout to BG. We will end the live with that.
Yo,
That was legendary.
Big
Crazy.
shout out to BG, man.
Legendary.
Love y'all, boys.
Yo, man, full sportsman. We see y'all next
Yes,
Wednesday.
sir.
BG, you earn my respect, man.
Yo, BG is